Okay, so today is Thursday, 30th of January 2025. A little bit cool today, but 17 degrees centigrade, which I think is about 63 Fahrenheit. Got cooler last night, so the fish are not very active this morning. I'll have to wait for it to warm up a bit more before I feed them. And I'm going to talk about a hair algae outbreak or infestation I've had in one of the tubs, and how I clear it and sterilize the tubs and equipment with hydrogen peroxide, just to try and make sure the hair algae doesn't quickly return. So, very occasionally, I get problems with hair algae in the tubs. Usually I have small sponge filters which provide aeration and the water stays clear, and biofilm slowly covers the walls and bottom of the tubs like this. It's not just algae, it's sort of the normal biofilm you get underwater, and I'm happy to have this biofilm. But in this tub, hair algae has taken over. I'm not sure where it came from, and I most definitely want to eliminate it before it spreads to my other tubs. And it's not difficult to do with bare bottom tubs like mine, which only have a nominal amount of floating plants. And clear up the fish, clear everything out, and I can clear it. I mean, hair algae, apart from being unsightly and whatever, also I found fry can get stuck inside it and can't get out and they die. So definitely I want to get rid of it. Now, again, I'll repeat, I'm not an expert, so maybe I'm wrong. But in my experience, even a very small amount of hair algae brought into a container from somewhere, maybe on a net or maybe on your hand, if you've been clearing algae from the tub, if you don't thoroughly clean your hands, it can start off a hair algae infestation. And it seems to me, again, I might be wrong, hair algae is very tough. I've had it in bare fry hatching containers like this one, egg hatching container. I've had it in there, I've scrubbed it out, I've dried it in the sun, and still the hair algae seems to come back quite quickly. And so that leads me to think that even a few algae filaments, must have survived that sort of scrubbing and drying process. So now I think if any containers, nets, etc. have been in contact with hair algae, I sterilize them. So first of all, clear out the tank, throw the plants away, put them out on the ground. Keep that ring to sterilize for later, sterilize later. Take the spawning mop, sterilize later, put in a bucket. Take out the sponge filter. You can see there's all the algae. I'll just dump it down on the ground for now. See if I can get any more algae out. There you go. Just dump it down. Throw the plants away. More plants away. You can see All the algae is basically growing over here, really growing on the attached to the side of the tub. And I think there are 4 fish in here at the moment. And what I want to do is try and transfer as little water as possible into their new tub. Let me see if I can find some. The minimum amount of water, the minimum amount of algae. Don't want any filaments in there. So now let's see if I can catch the fish. Use a scoop, which is easier to, if I can get them. Put them in there. Got a phone call. So nothing important on the phone. Let's see if we can catch some more fish. And so I want to try and use the ladle to so it's easier to sterilize. So I'll catch them first. So in the end, I'd use a net. It's got a bit of algae in there, and that will go in the bucket with the rest for sterilizing later. And what I want to do now, if I can, is reduce the amount of water in here, in this bowl, to the minimum. This is just my way of doing it. I mean, maybe I can do it a lot easier ways, I don't know. This is my way of doing it. Minimum water in here. Okay. So they will survive in that for a short while I acclimate them. So I put them in this tub here. Leave it for a few minutes, just let the temperature acclimate, and I'll just start building up the amount of water in there bit by bit, using this over a period of time until I got a reasonable amount of water in there. As I say, do that several times just to get them used to the water that's in this tub. So I've increased the water in there over time with the water from this tub. Now just got see how I can do this. Now I'm just going to scoop them out of there, if they will go. I just scoop them out and dip them in. Not done very well, but there we are. So try and reduce transferring water. Try and reduce transferring water from the algae infested tub into here. There, done. And now this can be sterilized in the sterilizing bucket. So now I'm just going to empty out all the water in the tub. I'm not going to use a siphon, just empty it out with the bowl, dip it out on the ground. I don't want to use a siphon because it will get hair algae in it, difficult to sterilize, so I will just sterilize this bowl later. Yeah. See algae hanging on the side of the tub, and so still lots more to get out. I just scrape it until I can get rid of it all. Just dismantled the sponge filter, put all the stuff in the bucket for sterilising. You can see there's still, however hard you try, wash it out, there's still filaments of hair algae in there. So that all needs sterilising just to kill all the algae off. It will kill the beneficial bacteria, but never mind. It will. It's better than see the filaments stuck inside. It will kill the beneficial bacteria, but anyway, I don't really want to throw it away. So, sterilising bucket. So just tip the tub over, hose it out inside, and I'll tip that water out. So, a relatively clean tub, but I'm very sure that, I mean, where all this epoxy putty is down the bottom, it's all a bit rough. I'm sure the hair algae filaments still in there, and probably all still in cracks in the tub as well. So I've left the tub to dry out for a couple of days. And now I'm going to try and sterilise it just to kill whatever amount of hair algae might still be surviving. Probably the best method to sterilise is using bleach, but I don't like to use bleach because there's always a risk of leaving residual toxins in a tub that might affect the fish in future. Yeah, probably I needn't be too concerned about that. Anyway, I prefer to use hydrogen peroxide, which is a reasonable alternative. It's easy to nearly dropped it. Easy to obtain. This is standard 3% solution, and reasonably cheap. I think, you know, sort of that which is about 1 litre is probably about $3 or something. And hydrogen peroxide works. It's got the chemical formula is H2O2. Now water is H2O, only one oxygen molecule. Hydrogen peroxide has 2 oxygen molecules, and that extra molecule will act to oxidize organic matter, and it's quite powerful against algae. It won't really harm plants, you know, normal plants too much, but algae, it is quite powerful. And then after about 24 hours, the H2O2 peroxide will break down just to water and oxygen. So that's why I like to use it. Now, I've read you can use it, this 3% solution for killing algae in aquariums with fish and plants. I've never tried doing that, but it suggested you have about 1 milliliter of this 3% solution for 1 litre of water in the tank. I've never tried it, so I'm not sure how effective it is, and whether it may cause problems with the fish and plants. However, as I completely empty a tub, I will use it at a more concentrated solution. You know, now, although, you know, it will kill algae, that extra oxygen molecule on there will slowly be used up in the killing process. So if you use a very small amount of peroxide to try and kill a large amount of algae, you quickly use up all these oxygen molecules in the oxidization process, and it will stop killing the algae. So, I don't like to sort of put in peroxide and fill up the tank with water. That means you dilute the mixture, and I will pour in this standard 3% peroxide just in a minute. So put my gloves on, put on eye protection because you don't want to get it in your eyes, and just, this is the standard 3% solution. Put in a whole lot in the bottom of the tub. What it will do if it meets any organic substance like algae, it will bubble as the oxidization process works. Not many bubbles, a few, so that it shows it's killing whatever is left there. So yeah, not too many bits of that. So instead of filling up with water now, I just paint this around. Use a paintbrush just to spread this around. You can use a spray bottle to do this, but I don't like spraying this stuff in case it gets in my eyes. And I just quickly spread it around. And I'll continue doing that for a little while. So I've got all the bits and pieces I use to clean out all the equipment I use to clean out the inside the tub, the algae, and some that might be contaminated. So I put most of these, like these bowls I used, put those inside. Ladle, net, also bits of the sponge filter, and that. So all those I used for when I was clearing out the algae. So I'll put those inside. Maybe add a bit more of the hydrogen peroxide, and now I'll fill it up with water. So that's now quite a dilute solution of hydrogen peroxide, but I'll leave everything in there for a couple of days, and put the cover over the top just to keep the daylight out, because hydrogen peroxide degrades faster in light, so in the dark it will keep acting. It's probably unnecessary to leave it a couple of days, but I've got time to do that before I flush it out and put new fish in there. I also have the sponge filter. You see a lot of it's dried out for several days now. Still got a lot of algae on there, so I will treat that separately with the 3% solution. Just pour it straight on. And Oh, and just keep pressing it to get the hydrogen peroxide into hopefully all the pores in the sponge filter. Yeah, pour on a bit more, make it quite concentrated. And I've also got a couple of mops I'll sterilise at the same time. I'll just fill that up with water, or not fill it up with water, but fill it up just enough to cover. And again, I'll leave that for a couple of days. Hopefully then that would have sterilised everything. And that's it, I think. Hopefully no more outbreaks of hair algae or infestation of hair algae for a while. All the rest of the tubs seem to be okay. Okay,